cleared it.
Okay.
Now
You good
you're
now?
alive.
I need to meet this man. I have questions.
Just climb the stairs and knock on the first door. I heard him open his window, so I guess he's still awake. And,
Hey, good
yes.
work.
no funny business.
I handsome.
This is a respectable establishment.
Something can be done to get out of this bullshit mess. No?
This is no place for you.
Noise.
Everyone has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires. They're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Say it's a vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word. With anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
I'm not sure that I know anymore.
Might I at least learn the reason of your presence?
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them. Biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
You seem the expert. How would that be?
I have my secrets, as you have yours.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
I heard another voice, that of a woman. Who were you talking to?
Ridiculous. I've no idea what you're talking about.
Something tells me not to trust you.
Then the feeling is mutual.
What have you uncovered concerning the murders?
It started a few nights ago. Rumors of violent murders. The docks have always been, shall we say, somewhat unsavory. But this is different.
How different?
A vampire is at work here. Famished. Reckless. It must be brought to ground, and quickly.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it another time.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We are both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight. Someone must know something. I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just been drained of blood. What's this? Some sort of note. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Over there!
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again. It's locked.
Burn it, boys! Oh, Christ! Easy does it, boys. Deal with this. Find it, fight!
I cannot enter. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
I'll not betray you.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
I wonder we shall overcome this. We've done it before.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by Skal?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
And I don't even need to
Patience,
go over
good
here. You can
fellows,
pull
I've
it
come to
over
offer
if
help.
you want.
Just give me a moment to secure
Thank
my
you.
boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me.
What an easy little boss he was. Well,
This
mini
poor
boss, I
creature
should
can't
say.
be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important
You
thing is
know,
that
my
he's
app
been
and see
stopped.
how much
Duly
points I
noted.
have.
And the woman? What... Who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in
Yeah, I'm
service of
gonna
your
wait for,
mysterious order, the
like I
Brotherhood
always
of-
do with all the games, before I buy them, I always wait for them to
First
go
and
on sale.
foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician.
So
like
then if
yourself.
I don't like the
Dr.
game,
Reed.
or I don't
How do you
constantly
know
play
who I
the
am?
game,
No need for
I don't have to
modesty.
sit there
You are
and
Dr.
waste
Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber
all
and
my
renown,
money
if I'm not
on a
mistaken.
game that's just
You are
gonna sit
correct,
there.
sir.
I knew it. I had my
That's
suspicions.
why I always wait for games to go on sale.
But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
Alrighty.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy,
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
You can do better than that. Nah. It's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seed of life. Drink at this river, dry it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
I've a mind to let you bleed out. Good luck then, sir.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Nice.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide-and-seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
I love how she changes her
Thank you,
story
nurse.
real quick.
What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the 2nd floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
I'm gonna take you to truth. I don't mind sitting around here.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Alright, what up? And welcome back.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, please.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Yeah, more I talk to people and stuff like that, the more experience I get. So right now I'm just gonna walk around and talk to a bunch of people. I can actually play my games off my phone if I really wanted to.
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous
That's
Dr. Reed has joined
ridiculous.
us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before, at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
Yeah, I was never a fan of the handheld
And look at you now.
game systems
Eminent
unless
surgeon,
I'm going
blood
somewhere.
transfusion specialist.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really...
Yeah, see, this is exactly what I was talking about, by the way, Pumpkin King. There's more you find out about them, the more experience. So like right now, I only know one thing about them. I'm only gonna get 150,000 XP for it. But the more I learn, the higher it gets.
Seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Yeah, so I'll be walking around and talking to a lot of people right now. And it also kind of helps because where I'm not feeding off of the actual people that are going to give me a big amount of experience, it's better for me to sit there and try to get as much experience points as I can.
It's locked, all right. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir.
So yes, he has.
Especially when he was supposedly dead.
What's
A
up?
colleague.
He has the super.
Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore,
Realize why I
sir.
was putting it there.
I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean?
Not everybody gets your
Used to
sense of
be a
humor
doctor.
there, honey.
No.
Was your
But he
license
finally got it
revoked?
when
No, sir.
I explained it to him.
It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do
Yeah,
is
but
watch
he
a few
he
bodies.
all he.
The
sorry,
situation
NC
was
is
very
4.
different when the main morgue was still
Yeah.
open.
I'm in gold 4.
No, on Survivor.
Well, here this is like my killer in Dead by Daylight.
He's gold 3 and killer.
Ooh, wow, he's one higher than me. He plays Survivor more than Killer, apparently. Well, it's also easier for survivors to pip than it is for killers.
Why
Just
do you
saying.
have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
That still must be creepy to work with dead bodies all the time.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
Yeah, you can't. You honestly can't judge people by their how people act.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Goodbye, Mr. Chidana.
Give me your experience. Experience is not. Yeah, I get only. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get very, very little. But if. And then when I go back through and read a bunch of papers and stuff, I get experience for that too. So that helps out a little too. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem
this is a lot. It is a lot of talking
I won't
now.
lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable. And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies. Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wood and nails, not flesh and bones.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer
Hello, my
Goswick.
guy.
Oh, driving off the gen.
Because he's at RPD, you know, that ledge.
Yeah.
Jump down and grab them.
Yeah. It actually, sometimes you can get it to work.
How
He's also good with him,
throat,
too.
Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
But he also plays a hell of a lot more than I do.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his
I get too
patient have to
irritated with that
communicate,
game.
sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful, I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I already did that.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir.
I'll get more out of you. Don't worry about it.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
More information.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Oh boy.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the
I know it
situation.
does. I know it does.
True.
You want me to leave that in
Last
there?
summer,
Yeah.
during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Yeah, that's a little side quest.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'll be doing that a little bit later.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share
I
Dr.
can't
Swan's
stand this dude.
enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, But I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
You know, if it wouldn't have messed up,
since your tenure in this hospital is longer
the good
than mine,
ending,
perhaps you can tell me more about
I
this
would.
place.
He's one of the ones I would feed off of because he's such a nuisance.
I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time, his
He just seems to be the one that's like stuck up. I think I'm better than everybody else type bullshit.
What are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than
what I wanted.
Perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time, his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
And I fucked it all up, fucker.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Ackroyd. I'm trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
This is ridiculous.
No,
My blood
that movie
transfusion
is
technique
fucked
saved many
up.
lives, and you know
And he
it.
just
You
got a
see?
4K.
That is exactly what I hate about people like
Nice.
you.
Even
You
though he was
avoid
just
this
doing
kind
it
of
to fuck around,
accusation
too.
instead of facing reality.
Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you don't.
It seems you have bad memories of your
You know, it's a
I
50-50
refuse to see
chance.
this industrial
But
slaughter
more
as
than not, you
scientific
run into a
progress.
bully squad.
War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at
Like
least
I
agree on
almost did
something.
yesterday. Where there was like 5
Oh, my
seconds
bad.
left and they popped
2
up.
dead, 2 escaped.
So that's a draw, I would say.
Thank you for your time.
Because if he would have got 3 and 1 escaped, I would call that a victory.
The 2 TTVs are the ones that died by his hands. Well, by hooks.
Okay. I was just saying.
Switch from him because that was his last game. I gotta shut you off. And go put you on my phone.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Well, what's going on with my phone?
You're dying.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening,
Just
Doctor.
go to check.
I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa
Put up on my
Hawkins.
And I'm
PS5.
Dr. Jonathan Reed.
And you gotta
Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well,
base
it's a
right there.
euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Well, if he leaves his base out here, that's on him.
No, that's the one I gave to her to use for her shit.
Yeah, right here.
For her shit.
How would you describe this situation?
So you plug in shit.
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted.
I had to be gentle.
No one has any idea
Yeah,
when this
because
epidemic will be
no.
over.
Why?
And I'm afraid with the standing up like that. I have to be gentle with standing up like that.
I kind of like it standing up like that.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
She said that's fine.
So wait
What?
for if everybody want to watch a movie during dinner time.
Okay, but okay. Ask her what kind of movies.
Matter.
Definitely, she'll watch anything.
How
The
long?
only thing, yeah, she'll watch horror if
Enough
she's
to
in.
see that the epidemic is winning.
Why? You
No
want
matter how
to pinhead?
qualified you are, don't tell
Or
me you'll change
Hellraiser, as it is called.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins.
Do we even
In
have it?
medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor.
It's free without ads.
I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
Well, you also got to think we got a freaking stack and a half of movies there too.
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Oh, grumpy people.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned.
That's why I need to get a
Milton
new
is not the
controller.
chatty
Kicks
type.
in and out on me.
Give me your fire.
But, you know.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
So much talking.
And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that?
You keep calling
And if
me
I'm
mortal.
What are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I don't know. That one's pretty gruesome.
Please.
I don't know if she's really gonna want you watching that.
To be a vampire.
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades.
Because it is
I
pretty
sense
gruesome.
the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Yes, I do think you're delusional.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Man, this chick is definitely crazy.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
No, it was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I only should have a couple more I actually gotta talk to.
So little result.
I need one. Two. And then now he move forward.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Oh, I already talked to her, that's right.
Goodbye,
I didn't
Nurse
even talk to her.
Good evening, sir. Can I...
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
I did not mean to do that. I'm not feeding off of him. Release. Thank you.
She didn't even know what Hellraiser is.
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Just sent her a trailer of it.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after you?
That sounds like
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood. Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant
So
professionals.
actually I have one more I gotta talk to after.
Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most.
And then I can move forward.
Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett's. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Are you really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members
No, I'm
willing to
running
steal
into
my
a gun
money.
smuggler.
Defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I'll bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
Why do you have such a mediocre reputation among your colleagues, Milton?
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic, Dr. Reed.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the job you are paid to do?
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
Yeah, I don't think I have enough for it yet. Let's just nope, nowhere close to it. Oh, that's fine.
Darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul.
This dead flesh needs it.
Let's go around, see if I can collect one I can collect. Okay. One of my favorite ones.
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Get the reference. He'll be sleeping in a coffin. He's, you know, he's a vampire. Okay, maybe let me pick up that note. Yeah. Yeah, I'll scroll through, and if people want to pause and read it, they can. I just won't sit there and read all that.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
It's fucking headphone.
Do you really think think the cat cares? Welcome back.
William Bishop's
Good,
blood is much more
you just made it through.
unstable than human blood and
You made
shows
it back
extensive
after all
mutation.
talking, so you're good.
But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Playing on it. And I can just do that while your phone's on the charger. Well,
Go ahead, be my guest. Or you can even go get this.
yeah.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals.
Well, technicality, if she would just grab our base from our room, she could use the black cord for one and then use the other cord for the other. But, you know.
Hurry now, Doctor. It's freezing here.
Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to
Come
rest,
on.
but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
I really
Our supply
need
of
to get a
antiseptics
controller
is
for
nearly
that.
depleted. I
And
was
see,
hoping there was
I
another
come out
box
here
up here,
and I
but
don't get kicked at all.
Sorry. There's nothing here.
some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly, sir, I'm beside myself.
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined correctly, certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have. Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first. Where is this morgue?
It's the large building behind the hospital. You'll need to go in the
Oh,
back door
man, I
because
gotta
it's
go
been
in the
sealed off for
morgue.
sanitary reasons. Take this key. It opens a small back entrance at the end of a narrow street.
The abandoned morgue behind the hospital. A small door at the end of a narrow street. On my way then. Thank you, nurse.
Yeah, he's suffering from fatigue.
When I get back, I'll have a word with Tom.
Just
Really
more-
pissed me off this time.
I really hate this
Good
game
evening,
sometimes.
Mr. Cox.
Dr.
I'm
Reed.
just gonna talk to him real
Still
quick and
working
then
at night, I
I'll go actually do some more stuff.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
What is that?
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. As long as I'm
Sorry.
treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton. I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, oh, I like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the
What?
job.
You have to make a noise because you jumped down, you little fat fuck.
Unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more than I could say for most folks.
And who are you, then?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day, I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Please, I feel sick. Get over it now.
Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Damn it. No, don't worry about anything else. I'm just gonna move forward. It's only me and you, dude. You're in trouble. That's my level. The green bar is my health, the yellow bar is my stamina, and the red bar is the blood I can use for like my certain attacks.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
So like my scratch attack, the cloud, like the mist attack I can do, and the regeneration health takes blood. But you see like the little things by each character's name, like the circle and that means they're not weak to those abilities. Doesn't really affect them as well as others.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well.
Yeah, this is in London, and back in the day when it wasn't so... It was still frowned upon, I guess, for white and black to be together. That's why he made a comment about it. But I don't... The main protagonist really honestly doesn't care. But could be. I could crack a joke about that though.
What?
In his case, he's like Jeffrey Dahmer. They all taste the same.
Dahmer was a sick bastard.
He was. Yeah, I'm just going around collecting things now. That's what I have to do right now. I'm gonna leave him be for now because I know how to collect some.
Balls of Mars. Fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This key will surely...
My mother had a beautiful, soothing voice.
Grant me access to the basement.
No, the game was a little too loud. Really? Another one of these skulls? Feed off of you. I love when they just walk right into it.
So pet it is.
Well, she already seen it, there's no point now.
No, like I said, I don't know fully if she's seen it or not.
Mm-hmm. She said she likes those.
Oh, so yeah.
She seen both of them? Then we'll go through something else, look for something else. If she's seen both of them, there's no point in rewatching them. Lucifer, stop acting like a spoofy little bastard.
Why are you afraid you're gonna see Fango's face and not never watch it again?
What, in Ted? Why?
You know the guy that plays that song?
Feed from corpses and the
Oh my god, you mean the one when he starts dancing in the middle of the room?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that dude is fucking
He
hilarious.
said he looked like him.
He does! No offense to Mango, he literally does look like the dude.
No, that is not the reason why.
My favorite one is Ted.
My point is I don't want to sit there. I want her to see a new movie, not fucking something she already seen multiple times.
Exactly.
No, I get it.
Yeah, that one that we wanted is not at any store.
I can't wait to try that.
Me either. Watch that become me and my brother's new addiction.
I still want to try the banana
That is there.
pie, whatever.
Banana pudding, the strawberry, chocolate covered strawberries, or strawberry and cream. Those ones are there at the liquor store, just not that one.
You know what? For my birthday, I want to get the banana and one of the other one. And we can just sit there, me, you, and him, and whoever else can try it. That's my birthday drink.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't...
She apologized because her server sucked. I said it's okay.
Better look into this.
Is this even one that's already ready for
Multiple
pina colada?
abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman.
And that boy's way bright.
Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips. Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally open to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful.
I just asked how far she is away.
Yeah, so I know when they
Signs of internal bleeding.
Not only that, you can help pick out a movie.
So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then,
Because when she shows up, I gotta stop streaming because
egregious error. It's time
she likes saying names.
Yeah, and it's close to dinner.
That too. And I've been streaming for almost 2 hours now.
Over that, because you have to count also the 18 minutes and the 16 minutes.
I'm not counting those.
Those are the shorts. Shorts.
Oh, it's this fucker. I really hate this guy.
What to do to him.
Yeah, I know, I still hate him. He's annoying.
Yes. In a way.
Yeah, he's like a mini boss. Stop disappearing on me. You're annoying when you do that. Feast off of him. Alright. Well.
These skulls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger.
Oh, well, it would help if I actually put the weapon that I'm supposed to be using on.
To drink blood is so tempting.
Yeah, I had the saw instead. I have a saw that I like playing with until I actually get the weapon I like, but...
You have to go off this hero.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that here, though. I can do that back in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just leave him back in the same room. God damn it.
That's a funny meme.
That's funny.
It's off your Facebook.
That's funny but messed up at the same time. No, you're not attacking me, nice try. Not quick enough. Oh, you dirty vampire. Come on, leave me alone. Thank you.
It says meat by default. Yeah, meat by default.
You. Why?
I have no clue.
And the purpose?
Right. have no clue.
Is that any ancestral memes?
No, that was actually under some a sponsor for Ryan Spencer. Some random dude that posted this random shit.
Well, that dude needs some help. Nobody wants to eat fucking meat by the foot. No, that's gross. That just sounds gross.
It does. Gay guy, turn that to a gay guy and something.
Put in her street. Let's yeah, down the street.
She'll literally sit there and tell me what she's up for late.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get out of here.
No thank you.
What?
Cookie dough soda. No thank you.
Don't knock it till you try it.
For real.
Because it might actually taste like cookie dough.
You might be the one.
You actually might like it.
Because it's cookies and cream bite soda. And then
You like
soda.
weird things though. You like weird tasting things.
I think that would be in the Manchester Mall at that candy store that we went to.
That's just like the monster with the creamsicle. You like that?
Oh, that one's delicious.
But that's not a normal flavor either.
No.
Alright then. So don't knock it until you try it. Oh yeah, this is where I go and do my little peeking. No, I gotta wait for later for that. I think my room's on that side where I can, or is it? No. When I can get in the hospital somewhere. Oh no, I'm back at the hospital.
Yeah, I'll stick with the place I go.
Yeah, he was just like a mini boss, yeah. Here she is.
Yes, Doctor?
Exactly how bad is the supply situation here at Pembroke?
It really depends. Dr. Swansea deftly works his society contacts for monies, but with the quarantine, well, we're in God's hands.
Please, could you point me in the direction of the morgue again?
It's the large boarded-up building behind the hospital. You
Oh,
can't
that's
miss
right. I
it.
could actually
The
make
key I
something.
gave you will open the small back door to it.
Okay, I gotta go.
That's
I don't
all
need
for
to go
now,
here.
Nurse Crane. Thank you.
Okay, stop posturing. Okay, fatigue. Actually, I can do it faster this way. Fatigue and fatigue. I need 2 fatigues. Stop it.
Disgusting. Crown roll ketchup.
Ew.
Disgusting.
And why?
I don't know, not even know your mom wouldn't even drink that.
No. So, fatigue. Shit. I need to get more ingredients. But I should accomplish my goal. No, I just gotta go talk to her. Nice. Go this way. What are you doing, buddy? No, yeah, like I can find out little things like this.
Don't mind if I search your pockets. Do you, sir? You won't need any of these anyway. I'm not stealing from you, mister. I'm only redistributing your belongings to people who need them more than you. You see, no one has claimed your body, sir, so it would be such a shame to bury you with your valuables. I will not forget you, sir, and I thank you for your generous donation.
Mm-hmm. I know, that's fucked up. Stealing from the dead. What kind of fucking shit is that? I can go back and talk to him and find out shit, but I'll do that in a second, actually.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
No.
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have to go now, sir. But
That's not what I meant to hit.
contact me if you need any help.
I could have healed his fatigue before it gets worse.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
The other guy could fucking make pieces of douchebag.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Yeah, when they're suffering from like fatigue or like migraines or any illnesses, it takes away the XP I can get from them if I feed off of them.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Okay, this is not what's his name in the room.
Is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm.
Fuck, I had to wash myself until it gets done.
Defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
It may seem strange, but your words have brought me some comfort here.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
There's no need to apologize, Edgar.
Which makes no sense.
None.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound skills.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
The bathroom and then go start.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
Okay, baby girl.
Why, the stole, of course not.
Oh, that means he has to move closer to me. God damn it.
Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Lady Ashbury. Lady Ashbury is the other vampire. If you were wondering. Go. Oh yeah, the one that stabbed this. Yeah, the one that stabbed the skull. There's whatever they call it, the fucking thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go meet her right now, so you'll see. But yeah, it's just right here.
The flu took my dear wife.
You can watch it on your own time.
I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together.
Why, man? I have it right here in front of me.
I'm a moderator, so I have to watch this.
I was just doing it for you because if you left it right here, so I was
Be up again soon.
Nobody ever writes on it, so.
I did.
Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words are kind, the blessings of an angel.
Yes, you don't count. Unless you're not here, then you count.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Exactly.
It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally this time. My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is mine, Doctor.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Pardon my boldness, Your Ladyship, but I have questions concerning this condition we share.
As a newborn, your hunger for answers is rivaled only by your thirst for blood. But the questions need wait.
I'm a scientist. My trade is in the deciphering of mysteries, and I need information to feed my mind.
I will gladly answer every question you have, but first, prove yourself capable of resolving my predicament without eating the culprit.
Have any of the patients given you trouble?
These poor souls have so little left to live for. I do my best to ease their pain.
The world would be a better place if it were cared for by women like you.
You make me blush. I am simply a necessary evil.
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Who would be so foolish as to threaten you? A kindred spirit.
Even if it were the case, and I highly doubt it, a vampire would have asked for something more valuable than money. My suspicions lean toward a patient, or their family.
What are your expectations? Please be precise.
As the newly appointed surgeon of this hospital, you are in an excellent position to ask innocent questions and deftly learn the identity of my blackmailer.
If we're dealing with an ordinary criminal, surely you've the means to deal with it yourself, if I may.
As immortal tradition doth dictate, all fangs and hypnotic eyes ablaze, the blood would run like a river. That's what I hope to avoid. Violence has a tendency to spiral out of control.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
So this is the actual like main quest. Yeah.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself. You could talk to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved, I'll be your obligé. I'll answer all questions in regards of your condition.
Pembroke is so lucky to have Dr. Reed. I met him in New York. If only there were more.
Yeah, I could honestly go ask around everybody else, but I don't see the point in it. They don't give you any information.
What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Please, calm down, madam. I assure you that I am highly qualified. I'm just back from war duty.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long
How
I've been
did
a
he
patient
even,
here?
like, man, this woman is,
I'm Harriet Jones.
Harriet Jones?
yeah, she's saying
I've been
something
meaning to
wrong
have a chat with
upstairs.
you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Better than any
Because all he said, he's highly qualified and he just came back from war duty.
I heard
And she told him, don't threaten me.
Was there a case
Why are you threatening an old lady or whatever? And it's just like,
Wait,
really?
you're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
I assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans, whores, all of them. They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me
Which,
something to go on. See you on the next round.
we already know who those two are. Because of the photo.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Let's see. You want to go talk
Good evening,
to?
Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Okay, there's nothing.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones. Do not pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
She's done. I'm gonna talk to. Where is she? There she is. I love having that capability of finding them
Good evening, Nurse Brennan.
Good evening, Doctor.
by looking by the blood. Yeah, this is a woman.
Tell me me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority. So we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Yeah, so, remember that body I exhumed? That was a patient of Dr. Tippett. And he died from a drug overdose.
Good evening, Dr. Tippett.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going on in this hospital?
I have no time for such triviality, my dear colleague. We're here to save lives.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
That's just sad.
Really pissed me off this time.
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Alright, but I am gonna call it I will be streaming the continuance of the game next Friday. Anybody new to the channel, if you like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. It only takes 1 second for you, but it means the world to me. Thank you and have a great day.